You don't need to believe in Feng Shui for it to affect your life. Because every night while you're trying to rest, your bedroom might be doing the opposite, activating stress, amplifying grief, or echoing loneliness without you even realizing it. And no, it's not just about clutter or bad sleep hygiene. It's about the silent signals your space is sending to your nervous system. The mirror that faces your bed, the ticking clock near your pillow, the single pillow where there used to be two. These aren't just objects. They're emotional anchors, subtle, powerful, and often ignored. Here's the hard truth. Your bedroom holds the most personal energy in your entire home. It's the one place your body is supposed to surrender, restore, and feel completely safe. But if you've ever woken up more tired than you were the night before, or felt a kind of emptiness even in a beautifully decorated room, something deeper may be at play. The wrong item in the wrong place can derail your healing, chip away at your peace, and invite a kind of emotional fog that no candle or essential oil can fix. Today, we're not talking trends. We're talking energy, and the 6 things you must remove from your bedroom if you want to sleep, feel, and live better. Because once you see what these objects are really doing to you, you won't look at your space the same way again. Mistake 1. Mirrors facing the bed, the doorway for energetic disruption. There's something deeply unsettling about waking up in the middle of the night and catching a glimpse of movement across the room, only to realize it's your own reflection. For a split second, your nervous system spikes, your heart races, and you feel a jolt of alertness that seems completely out of place. And then you go back to sleep, maybe, but the moment lingers. What you might not realize is that this tiny moment, repeated over days, months, years, is slowly reshaping the way your body feels about rest. That mirror facing your bed, it's not just decorative, it's a portal of disruption. Most people put a mirror in the bedroom for practical reasons, getting dressed, checking appearance, adding light to a small space. But when a mirror directly reflects your bed, it does more than bounce images. It bounces energy. And energy, whether you call it Kai, presence, or simply your subconscious, is highly sensitive to repetition. Imagine spending 8 hours a night in front of something that splits your image in half, that duplicates your sleeping form, that never allows you to fully disappear into rest. That's not just a design choice, it's a disturbance. In Feng Shui, mirrors are known to activate, amplify, and stir. They are powerful tools, but like all power, they require placement with intention. Facing your bed, a mirror introduces constant motion into a space meant for stillness. It stimulates the nervous system even when your eyes are closed. The body knows it is being watched. The mind feels exposed. And this awareness, barely conscious but ever present, can keep you from dropping into true, restorative sleep. Over time, you might not even notice how tired you are because tired becomes normal. But let's make it personal. If you're someone who struggles to fall asleep, who wakes up between 2 and 4 a.m. for no obvious reason, who experiences vivid or repetitive dreams, who feels unrested despite a full night's sleep, your mirror might be part of the reason. Not the whole reason, but an energetic layer you've never considered. And in a time when so much feels out of your control, your hormones, your schedule, your stress, the bedroom should not be part of the problem. There's also a deeper emotional layer. A mirror doubles everything. It doubles loneliness when you're grieving. It doubles arguments if you sleep next to someone you're emotionally disconnected from. It even doubles the sense of absence if you sleep alone and yearn for partnership. In this way, mirrors are not neutral, they echo. And they echo whatever you're feeling most, magnifying it in your most vulnerable hours. Some say this is superstition. That's fine. Let them call it that. But the body doesn't care what you call it only knows how it feels. And the number of people who report better sleep, fewer nightmares, more peace, and deeper intimacy after removing or covering a mirror in the bedroom is not a coincidence. It's a pattern, one you can shift. So what do? Start with awareness. Tonight, before you go to bed, look around. Does any mirror face your bed directly, even partially? Is it tall, wide, decorative? Does it reflect your body while you sleep? If so, consider this your invitation to experiment. You don't have to throw it out, just cover it. Use a soft cloth, a lightweight scarf, something that still looks beautiful. Treat the act not as fear-based, but as intentional. A symbolic way of saying, this space is for rest, nothing else. If removing the mirror completely isn't an option, maybe it's attached to your closet or built into the wall, then soften it with light. Add curtains near it, soften the corners with plants, or place a grounding object like a bowl of sea salt nearby to absorb any restless energy. The point isn't perfection. The point is alignment. You are tuning your space to reflect calm, not chaos. It's not about believing in magic. It's about understanding your environment as part of your wellness. Your bedroom is not neutral. It either supports your healing or hinders it. And a mirror, when used without awareness, becomes more than glass. It becomes a symbol of fragmentation in a room that should unify you. Think of it like this. Every night you give your body to sleep. You ask your mind to let go. You invite renewal. Would you do all that in front of an audience? Or would you rather close the curtain, dim the light, and let the stage disappear? That's what removing a mirror from your sleep space does. It creates a container. It tells your nervous system, you're safe now, you're not on display, you're allowed to rest. And you deserve that. You deserve a room that works with you, not against you. A bed that welcomes you fully, without duplication, without interruption. Just you, whole, unobserved, and finally still. Mistake 2, photos of the past, objects that trap you in what was. Sometimes the things that weigh us down aren't loud. They don't tick. They don't shine. They just sit quietly in a frame beside the bed, on a dresser, or tucked into a nightstand drawer, waiting. A photo, a moment, a memory that used to bring comfort but now simply holds you in place. You walk by it every day, barely noticing, but your heart does. And every night your subconscious walks straight through it, reliving something that no longer exists. We keep photos for many reasons: to honor the past, to remember who we were, to hold on to people who no longer share our present. But memory is a double-edged blade. It can comfort, or it can delay healing. It can anchor, or it can chain. Especially in the bedroom, the most emotionally porous space in your home, old photos carry more than just images. They carry energy. And energy, when held too long in one direction, becomes a barrier to what's possible now. Look closely at the photo on your nightstand. Is it a wedding picture from a time that feels foreign now? A snapshot of someone you loved and lost? A child who's grown and left, but whose small face still watches you as you sleep? There's nothing wrong with remembering. But when memory becomes the loudest voice in the room, rest becomes a negotiation. This isn't about forgetting. It's about knowing the emotional temperature of your space. Ask yourself this: what does this photo make me feel right now in this chapter of my life? Not what it meant back then, not what you wish it still meant, but what it does to your nervous system, your breath, your sleep. If it stirs sadness, loss, longing, or even just a tightness in your chest, you might be sleeping with a silent source of unrest. In Feng Shui, every object holds intention. And the bedroom should be a place where energy turns inward, softens, releases. When you surround your rest with imagery of what's gone, your body may lie still, but your spirit keeps running. running back through time, through what was said, what wasn't, who stayed, who didn't. You might not be aware of it, but the looping thoughts, the fragmented sleep, the heaviness when you wake up, sometimes they begin in a frame. Let's go deeper. If you've experienced loss, divorce, death, emotional distance, a photo can become a spiritual placeholder, a silent vow to stay loyal to the pain, to keep someone near even after they've gone. But your soul can't move forward when it's tethered. And healing doesn't mean erasure. It means making space for what's real now. And what's real is you, in this bed, in this moment, deserving peace. So what can you do? Begin gently. You don't need to throw anything away. This isn't about cutting off the past, it's about blessing it and giving it its proper place. Tonight, take 5 minutes before bed. Look at the photo in question. Really look. Let whatever feelings arise, and then ask softly, is this helping me rest, or is it holding me here? If the answer is no longer clear, that's enough. That's your sign. Wrap the photo in soft cloth. Tuck it in a drawer, somewhere safe but no longer central. Or if you're ready, place it in a memory box, somewhere sacred but out of view. Light a candle even briefly as a way of saying thank you. Not just to the person or memory in the photo, but to yourself for being brave enough to shift. Then consider what to put in its place. You don't have to go minimalist. The space doesn't need to be empty, it needs to be intentional. A small piece of art that calms you, a quote that grounds you, a photo from now of you doing something you love. Let your room speak to the life you're building, not just the life you've lived. Because bedrooms are for surrender, not stories. Not unfinished chapters, not ghosts. They are where the body repairs, the mind resets, and the heart can exhale without explanation. You deserve to sleep in a room that holds you, not just echoes of who you were or who you once held close. And when you finally lie back on your pillow, without that face from the past watching you, you may notice something unexpected. Not silence, not sadness, but space. Space for peace, space for rest. And maybe slowly, space for joy to return in a new, unframed way. Mistake 3, ticking clocks, the rhythm of silent anxiety. There's a sound that most people no longer hear, but their body does. It pulses quietly from the nightstand, hangs in the background like a forgotten melody, clicking second after second, year after year. Tick, tick, tick. At first it seems harmless, familiar, reassuring even, until one night you're lying awake at 3:17 a.m., eyes wide open, and that tiny sound feels impossibly loud. You turn your head. The clock is there, still ticking. Still measuring everything you haven't done, every hour you haven't slept, every part of your life you're running out of time to fix. This isn't just about sleep. It's about the psychology of pressure. Ticking clocks create a microdose of urgency, a background hum that reminds your nervous system to stay alert, to stay engaged, to keep checking. Even in your bedroom, even in your sanctuary, the message isn't rest. It's don't waste time, it's keep up. It's not enough. And when that message plays all night long, recovery becomes impossible. In Feng Shui, clocks are associated with time, motion, and endings. When placed in the bedroom, especially near the bed, they shift the energy from stillness to subtle pursuit. They pull you forward rather than letting you sink inward. For women, especially in midlife, this can amplify an already overloaded nervous system. Between caregiving, career changes, health shifts, and the emotional fog that sometimes descends uninvited, the last thing you need at midnight is a sound that says, "You're late." And yet most bedrooms have them. Small plastic clocks, oversized vintage ones, phones with blinking timers. It doesn't matter how beautiful they look. If you can hear the seconds, you're being primed for performance when you should be dissolving into rest. Your sleep is not just about comfort, it's about permission. And ticking clocks revoke that permission second by second. The consequences show up subtly. You start waking during the thin hours of the night around 2:33, 04:15. Your mind begins racing the moment your head hits the pillow. You fall asleep exhausted but wake up with clenched teeth and a sore jaw. You begin to dread nighttime, not because you fear sleep, but because you can't seem to arrive fully into it. This is not a flaw in you. It's a flaw in your environment, and while it may sound small, the impact is not. Because the body listens even when you're asleep. It processes sound, rhythm, atmosphere. If your bedroom is pulsing with the beat of time passing, your brain is less likely to release the deep waves necessary for repair. Melatonin production can be disrupted, cortisol stays high, and you wake up feeling like you barely closed your eyes. The fix is simple. Remove the sound, that's it. Replace your ticking clock with a silent one, or better yet, no clock at all in the sleep zone. Use your phone if you must, but place it across the room with notifications off and the screen face down. If you need to rise at a specific time, opt for a sunrise alarm or a gentle, light-based device. Your nervous system doesn't need to be shocked awake. It needs to be invited. Some people resist this change. They say, "But I like knowing the time." The truth is, knowing the time doesn't help you sleep. It helps you calculate how little time is left. That mindset might work in an office, but in the bedroom it becomes a thief. It robs you of surrender, of that delicious, unmeasured descent into true rest. This is not about controlling every detail. It's about removing the one detail that's been controlling you. Because rest isn't just a physical act, it's emotional safety. And safety can't happen when your body is being chased by time. Tonight, when you get ready for bed, listen. Really listen. Is there a sound you've trained yourself to ignore? Is there a pulse in the background that isn't your heartbeat but something mechanical? If so, make one small change. Silence it. Move it. Unplug it. Give your bedroom the gift of true quiet and give your body the gift of being off the clock. Because sleep isn't a race, it's a return. And you don't need to be counted down, measured, or tracked to be worthy of it. You just need space, softness, and the courage to say, "I'm done performing. This is where I get to stop." Mistake 4, lonely or abstract art, visual symbols of isolation. Some things don't speak in words, they speak in images. And they speak every single night, even when your eyes are closed. That painting above your bed, the artwork in the hallway just outside your door, that canvas of a single tree on a windswept hill. They all tell stories, not loudly, not obviously, but in frequencies your nervous system absorbs without permission. And if that story is one of aloneness, emptiness, or distance, you might be sleeping under a quiet spell of emotional isolation. Art matters, especially in the bedroom. Not just because it sets a mood, but because it acts as a mirror for the soul. The subconscious mind doesn't analyze brush strokes or artistic merit. It registers emotion, symbol, tone. So while you may see your painting as neutral or modern, your body may be interpreting it as cold, disconnected, or sad. A lone figure walking down an empty street, a vague swirl of gray, a barren landscape. These aren't just decorations, they're messages. And in your most vulnerable space, they can become scripts that your heart follows. Why does this matter? Because healing happens through resonance. The images you see last thing at night and first thing in the morning are not just background. They're emotional companions. If your bedroom walls echo aloneness, your heart will unconsciously align with that vibration. And if you're already navigating transitions, widowhood, divorce, empty nesting, those visuals don't soothe. They reinforce. They deepen the sense that you're moving through life unsupported, even when that's no longer true. In midlife, especially for women, there's often a quiet grief that goes unnamed. The grief of roles changing, of relationships shifting, of parts of ourselves being rewritten. That's natural. But your bedroom should not be a gallery for grief. It should be a sanctuary for rebirth. And the art you choose is part of that rebirth. When you surround yourself with visual language that celebrates warmth, connection, softness, you send a new signal to your nervous system. You're not lost, you're home. If you're unsure about your current art, try this. Sit quietly in your bedroom without music or light distractions and look at each piece. Ask, what emotion lives in this image? Don't overthink. Just notice what arises. Does it bring you closer to ease or remind you of longing? Does it feel alive or emotionally flat? You'll know, your body will tell you, because healing spaces don't just look good, they feel like an exhale. Replacing artwork doesn't require perfection or deep design knowledge. You don't need floral prints or spiritual quotes unless they truly speak to you. What matters is imagery that invites gentleness. Consider pieces with movement, like brush strokes that swirl rather than slash. Pairs two trees, two birds, two abstract forms in dialogue often bring a sense of balance. Even light, images of morning, candles, sun-dappled water, can soften the emotional edges of your space. What to avoid? Anything that feels static, distant, cold, or emotionally ambiguous. Abstract is fine, but be mindful of color and tone. Cool grays and jagged lines can subtly heighten internal tension. So can stark minimalism, especially when it leans toward vacancy rather than spaciousness. This is about tone, not taste. A $10 print from a thrift store can radiate peace if it was chosen with intention. And don't underestimate the power of removing art altogether. Sometimes the most healing choice is a blank wall, a space where the eye and the heart can rest, where nothing is being asked, told, or mirrored, just air, just quiet, just you, because your bedroom isn't a gallery. It's not meant to impress or prove anything. It's meant to hold you. And if what's on your walls doesn't feel like comfort, you have the right to take it down. No guilt, no explanation, just the soft, steady choice to say, I want to wake up to something that feels like hope. Tonight, take one step. Remove one piece. Replace one frame. Or simply imagine what kind of art would feel like home to your future self, not the one still walking through shadows, but the one reaching toward light. The one who no longer sleeps under the weight of loneliness, but in the glow of possibility. Because when your bedroom walls begin to reflect connection, softness, and healing, your whole life starts to echo that same story. Mistake 5. Cold white lighting, a glow that tightens the spirit. There's a kind of light that doesn't just illuminate, it pierces. It fills the room completely, leaves no shadows, exposes every corner with sharp, surgical clarity. Most people call it practical. Some call it clean. But in the sacred quiet of a bedroom, this type of light doesn't soothe, it startles. Cold white lighting, the kind you find in overhead fixtures or LED bulbs labeled daylight, doesn't just affect how your room looks. It alters how your body feels, how your nervous system responds, and how deeply you're able to rest. We've been conditioned to think that more light equals better function, and in many spaces that's true. In a kitchen, a bathroom, an office, white light helps us focus, helps us see. But the bedroom is not for seeing. It's for softening, for letting go. And when your sanctuary is bathed in the same lighting used in hospitals, warehouses, or 24-hour convenience stores, something subtle but serious starts to shift. You stop exhaling. You stop softening. Your body stays ready, alert, slightly braced. Even in bed, Lighting is more than decor, it's atmospheric chemistry. It speaks directly to your circadian rhythm, your hormonal signals, your ability to wind down. White light suppresses melatonin, the hormone your body needs to fall and stay asleep. It also activates your sympathetic nervous system, the part of you wired for action, vigilance, performance. You may not notice this in the moment, but over time, a room lit like a workspace turns your rest into a task instead of a refuge. And here's the deeper truth. Many women over 44 are already living in a constant state of on. You're managing households, aging parents, shifting relationships, changing bodies. The last thing you need is a bedroom that echoes that same tension. You need softness, surrender. A place that doesn't just allow rest, but invites it with every detail, including the way it glows. Cold lighting doesn't just make the room feel stark, it makes you feel exposed. It removes depth, it flattens texture. It tells your senses, stay sharp. And for anyone navigating anxiety, hormonal imbalance, or emotional exhaustion, that sharpness becomes a barrier to restoration. It's not just harsh, it's biologically unsupportive. So what's the alternative? Warmth, not just in temperature but in tone. Replace white bulbs with warm-toned ones. Look for words like soft white, amber, or bulbs in the 2700K range. Choose lamps with shades that diffuse light gently, rather than projecting it harshly. Think layers of light, small pools from bedside lamps, corner floor lamps, even salt lamps that offer a soft orange glow. These aren't just aesthetic choices. They're invitations. They signal to your body, it's safe to relax, you can let go now. Placement matters too. Overhead lights, especially bright ones, should rarely be the primary source in a bedroom. If possible, avoid switching them on after dusk. Let the room gradually dim with the day. Use candles if you love ritual. Use string lights if you crave whimsy. Use whatever brings you into presence, but never what forces your body back into daytime alertness. Some resist this change. I need to see clearly, they say, but clarity doesn't require harshness. It requires intention. You can still read, still organize, still dress, but you can do it without bathing your nervous system in glare. Because clarity of space means nothing if your body feels confused about what time it is, what role it's supposed to play. There's also an emotional layer here. Cold light often amplifies feelings of emptiness. It makes a room feel sterile, transactional. If you've ever walked into a bedroom that was perfectly clean but felt emotionally vacant, lighting might be the missing piece. A bedroom should feel like a safe hug, not an interrogation room. Try this experiment. Tonight, an hour before bed, turn off your overhead light. Turn on only your softest lamp. Let that be your entire glow. Notice how your breathing changes, how your thoughts slow, how even your skin feels different under a gentler light. Then ask yourself, why would I settle for lighting that makes me tense when I could choose one that helps me come home to myself? This is not about luxury. It's not about design. It's about dignity. The dignity of your rest. The dignity of a space that doesn't shout at you when you're trying to recover. And the quiet revolution that begins when a woman decides she no longer needs to live her evenings in the energy of performance. Change your light and you change the message your room sends to your soul. You say, rest is sacred. You say, softness is power. And slowly the room begins to glow like something holy, not because of the bulb, but because of the intention behind it. Mistake 6. Mismatched or damaged bedding, silent symbols of disconnection. There's something sacred about the objects we sleep with. The pillow that holds our dreams. The blanket that wraps around our tired shoulders. The sheets that feel our weight, our warmth, our breath. But when these items are mismatched, tattered, or neglected, when one side of the bed has a new pillow and the other holds a flattened, faded one, something else is communicated. Not in words, but in energy. The message is disconnection, not just from others, but sometimes from ourselves. We often overlook bedding as emotional architecture. We focus on thread count, style, color, trends, but we rarely ask, what does this say about how I value rest? What does this reflect about how connected or disconnected I feel in my own life? The answer often is hidden in the details. One lonely pillow, a duvet with a ripped seam, a fitted sheet that constantly slides off because it's too small. These aren't just annoyances, they're metaphors, and your body absorbs those metaphors every single night. In Feng Shui, symmetry is powerful. Not because of perfectionism, but because it reflects harmony. When your bed shows balance, two pillows, matching nightstands, even textures, it supports emotional equilibrium. But when one side is cared for and the other is, when you've kept an old blanket just in case, even though it's torn or carries memories that tighten your chest, that imbalance speaks. It says, this part doesn't matter, or worse, I don't matter. For women in midlife, especially those navigating grief, divorce, or simply living alone after years of sharing a bed, bedding can become symbolic territory. It holds stories of love lost, of routines broken, of roles that no longer exist. And while we may tell ourselves it's just a pillow, the body knows better. The body feels the gap, the missing presence, the frayed edge of a connection that once was. But this isn't about nostalgia. This is about now, about reclaiming your sleep space as a place of emotional restoration, not silent resignation. You deserve bedding that reflects care. Soft textures, clean lines, pieces chosen not for someone else but for you. Because what you sleep with is not passive. It shapes your experience of rest. So what can you do? Start small. Look at your bed tonight as if you're seeing it for the first time. Are the sheets cohesive in color and tone? Do your pillows invite your head or resist it? Does your blanket feel like a weight of safety or just a weight? If anything feels off, don't rush to replace everything. Begin with one layer, a pillowcase in a color that soothes you. A throw blanket that feels like it belongs to the person you're becoming, not the person you were. And if you share your bed with someone, notice the message your arrangement sends. Is one side more cared for than the other? Does the symmetry reflect connection or the absence of it? Sometimes the way we unconsciously set our bed is the way we're setting our emotional boundaries. Rebalancing that space isn't about impressing a partner. It's about healing your own energetic field. Also, let go of guilt around keeping things because they still work. Functional is not the same as nurturing. That old pillow that gives you neck pain, it's not serving you. That scratchy blanket from your college years, let it retire. Give yourself permission to curate comfort, to claim softness, not for appearances, for your nervous system, for your soul. Because your bed is the last place you touch before sleep, and the first place you feel when you wake. It should not whisper of lack. It should not hold the energy of disrepair. It should welcome, hold, support. Tonight, as you lie down, notice how your body responds. If there's a sigh, a moment where your muscles loosen, a quiet thank you, your chest releases, then you're getting close. Not to perfection, but to alignment, to bedding that reflects connection to yourself, to your healing, to your rest. Because the bed isn't just where you sleep, it's where you return to yourself. And you deserve to return to a space that says, you're held, you're whole, you're home. Final, in the end, the bedroom doesn't ask for much. It doesn't demand wealth, grandeur, or perfection. It only asks to be allowed to do what it was made for, to hold you while you rest, to offer stillness after motion. quiet after conversation, softness after survival. But when your space is filled with small disruptions, mirrors that fracture your energy, photos that tether you to the past, clocks that whisper urgency, artwork that echoes aloneness, lighting that startles instead of soothes, or bedding that carries stories of disconnection, rest becomes resistance. You try to let go, but your environment doesn't let go of you. That's the truth most people never pause long enough to notice. Your bedroom is not passive. It's participating. It's either reinforcing your stress or releasing it. Every object is a signal, every texture a suggestion. And over time, those small, silent cues shape your sleep, your mood, your healing. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, about asking honestly, what does my space reflect about how I'm doing? And what do I want it to reflect instead? Because your nervous system listens even when your mind doesn't. And it deserves an environment that says, you are safe, you are seen. You can let go now. Maybe you can't change everything tonight, but maybe you don't have to. Maybe one small shift, a covered mirror, a new pillowcase, a single light turned warm, can begin the unraveling. Not of your decor, but of the invisible weight you've been carrying in your rest. And maybe that's how real healing starts, not with effort, but with space. So before you reach for another sleep aid, another podcast, another routine, pause. Turn inward, look around, ask your room what it's saying to you. Then listen with the same tenderness you've so often given to others. Because this isn't just about Feng Shui, it's about self-respect. It's about giving your rest the reverence it deserves. And if you change your space with intention, even just a little, something will shift. Not loudly, not instantly, but in the quiet, in the way your breath deepens. In the way you finally fall asleep, not out of exhaustion, but ease. What is your bedroom whispering to you tonight?